Yeah, well, look, Vicky, I've been saying for the last few days that I didn't expect Gareth Southgate to make many changes to his starting 11 to face Senegal in the knockout stages. But the really big calls he had to make were in those wide attacking areas. Who was going to back up Harry Kane on the left wing and the right wing? Bear in mind it was Phil Foden and Marcus Rashford in the last game, and they were outstanding against Wales. And it was B.Saka and Raheem Sterling in the opening game against Iran, and they were both outstanding as well. So a difficult call for the England manager. And we've told you this morning exclusively on Sky Sports News that we expect, if our sources are correct, that B.Saka is definitely starting tonight on the right wing. And that's a big call from Southgate. There's no doubt that Saka has been on brilliant form for Arsenal all season, helped them to the top of the Premier League table. And in that opening game against Iran, there was a big debate about whether he should start or any of those others I've just mentioned. And it was Saka who got the nod. He was man of the match, got 2 goals, didn't he? And brought the energy to that England attack, playing in behind, linking up play very well, and also with a defensive mindset. And I think that's probably what's got him the nod again today. The fact that Gareth Southgate knows he can rely on Bukayo Saka to get back. If there are any breaks, he's got the pace and the energy to make sure that happens, because this is going to be a very athletic Senegal side. But nonetheless, a huge call. It means Southgate won't be going with the same 11. He won't be picking an unchanged team from the one that started against Wales and played so well in that last Group B game. And it means, of course, that definitely one of Marcus Rashford and Phil Foden will miss out. They can't both play now, and that will be controversial because they were both outstanding against Wales as well. It could well be, by the way, that they both miss out. Both are starting from the bench, and maybe Raheem Sterling gets the nod. It is Sterling that Southgate goes with, traditionally has done in every knockout game in the last 2 major tournaments. Raheem Sterling has started, so it would be a big call for Gareth Southgate if he went away from that. But let's go with what we know, or what we think we know, what our sources are telling us this morning first, and that is the big news that Bukayo Saka we expect to start on the right wing.
It's a nice headache to have, isn't it, for Southgate? And he has been keen to stress that it will require the bench to progress further in this tournament. So could the finishers, that's to coin Eddie Jones's term, prove crucial today, do you think?
Yeah. I think they absolutely could. And look, I thought it was interesting what Gareth Southgate said in his news conference last night. I've been looking back on my notes, and he said it's a good position to be in. All of our forward players are confident. And this was the key bit for me, Vicky. He said, in some respects, I'm not sure if there is a right or wrong decision to be made. That implies, and I think he's quite right, that all of those 4 attacking options, and including Jack Grealish, by the way, who won't start but is a brilliant option off the bench, all of those are probably the envy of every other nation in this World Cup. I think that's where England are strongest, stronger than any other nation. That's what Southgate was hinting at there. But he also said, we are going to need the bench. For us, it's great the whole squad is available, they feel good. And I think that's right. Look, the way Southgate has approached every knockout game in the last 2 major tournaments, which have been so successful for England, is that he's tended to keep it a little bit tight, maybe for the first 60 minutes, not wanting to concede a goal. Remember that mantra that he's learned, which is if you don't concede a goal, you can't lose. Gets criticised for being too cautious. But then in the last half an hour, if England need a goal, maybe they're 1-0 down, maybe it's 0-0, maybe they're only 1 goal ahead, but they want to kill the game off, that's when he brings on the big guns. And for the first time in this World Cup, first time ever, England can have 5 substitutes along with everybody else. So he really can utilise that bench, change half of his outfield players on the pitch. So we make an awful lot of store, don't we, in the starting 11 for England. It's a headline, it's exciting, it's the players that Southgate thinks are his strongest 11. But we have to bear in mind that he'll have a game plan about when the others come on from the bench, whether that's Foden, whether it's Grealish, whether it's the pace and power of Rashford that comes off the bench. Remember, he's chasing the golden boot. He's level with the likes of Kylian Mbappe and Cody Gakpo with 3 goals in this tournament. So he's got exciting options on the bench, whatever he goes with. And I think he'll be stressing that to the players today, that, look, I've named a starting 11. The players know that now, but everybody else is available and on the bench, so nobody can rest on their laurels. Everybody is desperately needed if England are going to progress. And it's a big old game for England, isn't it? Remember, we keep saying it, but one mistake, England are on the plane going home. But if they win this, and whisper this bit quietly, Vicky, if they win this, they'll be in the quarter-final against Poland or France, and then just 3 games away from the final.